welcome or welcome back to my channel, Transcendent Health. My name is Michaela. If you are new to this channel, I do appreciate it if you would please consider subscribing. I do weekly videos on health, wellness, and faith, so if you're interested, please stay tuned. Title of this video, surprise, surprise, your curves are fat. Because I feel like we need to have a real conversation when it comes to body types.
Now, just a disclaimer, in no way, shape, or form is this video meant to shame, ridicule, or make fun of women who may fall on the heavier side. My only intention is to further talk about how body shape, ideal weight, and the body positivity movement has changed our perception of what society deems healthy, attractive, and ideal, especially when it comes to us women.
So starting off for me personally, my weight loss journey has been healing and very beneficial both mentally and physically. Hard to believe that almost 4 years back, right around the time of COVID, my weight had ballooned to almost 200 plus pounds, which was crazy because I've always been someone that's been pretty active. But given my work schedule at the time, my diet wasn't the greatest. I was working 12 plus hours a day, being on my feet all day, drinking energy drinks. And for the most part, I felt very tired, bloated all the time, along with a myriad of other hormonal issues that my body was going through. Long story short, though, I was able to lose the weight, 35 pounds to be exact. And although I'm happy and I feel better that I lost weight, I really have mentally and emotionally battled with how my body looks in comparison to how it looked before. And if I'm being honest with y'all, I really have struggled with body dysmorphia. And for me, it feels weird for me to say that out loud, partially because I didn't want to be that girl that harps on her looks or complains about her body. And this is something that I've really had to pray about repeatedly. And it also didn't help as I began to lose, more weight, how opinionated people became about me losing weight when my size didn't, no longer fit their ideal preference. Now, I briefly wanted to touch on body somatotypes just to showcase how, depending on your body shape, your build, some bodies tend to be more muscular, some tend to carry more body fat in appearance. So it's going to look different for everybody. And I don't want to get too into body somatotypes, but just to summarize and give you an idea, body somatotypes refers to one of the three types associated with different sizes, shape, and muscularity. These three body types include ectomorphs, endomorphs, and mesomorphs. So ectomorphs are usually people who are lean with longer extremities. Mesomorphs are usually described as having more of a muscular body, and endomorphs are usually more round or shapely in size. I have always been someone that is very long, very lean. I'm almost right at 5'8". That's where my height sits at. And before I hit my 20s, I'm talking my teen, prepubescent age, I was very rail thin. I just was. I got into my 20s, as we all do, after high school, we start to pack on the weight. Since I have longer extremities and I'm taller, when I started to gain body fat, to most people and even to myself, it didn't really look like it. Because of this reason, I usually have to explain to people that I'm not trying to be skinny, I'm trying to body recomp. Now, I've also been someone who, carries their weight quite well, meaning because I'm taller, like I mentioned, longer extremities, it really didn't look all bad even when I was a much heavier size, versus if I were to be, a lot shorter, usually weight gain, pops up a lot quicker. But the way that your body chooses to store fat when you pick up weight will also look different from person to person. So for myself, when I pick up weight, I tend to gain it in my upper body first, i.e. my arms, my stomach, my face, and then my lower body. I never really gave thought to my body shape or was ever super obsessive girls that we see today. Sure, I've had my awkward tall girl moments, you feel me, all my tall girls out there. But overall, I never had this negative perception of my body. Even though I appear slim to some people, I was actually carrying a lot of body fat, specifically around my midsection. And I will admit, healthiness aside, I didn't think the extra weight looked bad. It just wasn't the healthiest. But I feel like when it comes to, looks and carrying a certain aesthetic, people prioritize, how you look, even if it means, going to unhealthy extremes. For the most part, thin has always been ideal by societal standards, but we also know within the last decade, having a curvier body as a woman has been the ideal. Now, I know beauty and body standards do differ culturally, because let's not act like once upon a time in the Caucasian community, having a bigger butt wasn't all that cute. So if you're a woman of color, specifically in the Black and Latino community, being a woman who isn't on the shapely side can definitely make you feel some type of way, especially if you're being made to feel inferior or not as desirable amongst your own people. I mean, this BBL culture and the desperation for us to be thick has really got my people in a chokehold. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this image, this is a weight gain supplement called epitamine. And if you're a female and you've been on social media for some years now, then you probably have seen this run across your Instagram feed at least once. I remember more so seeing this infamous syrup on Instagram back around 2016, 2017. Unbeknownst to me, though, apparently it's made its way on TikTok as well.
Epitamine is a weight gain supplement that increases your appetite and slows down your metabolism. And it's supposed to make us thicker than a snake, okay?
Now, although epitamine contains some vitamin compounds, it also contains a very strong antihistamine called cyproheptadine. Cyproheptadine is an antihistamine usually given over the counter to treat allergies or given by prescription. However, if too much of it is consumed, it can cause adverse side effects on your body.
I will never forget the chokehold that this shit had me in. I was literally ordering like 6 of these at a time. And y'all know these was not freaking cheap. These was like $30 a bottle. I wanted to be thick. I wanted to be a thick girl. But once I started realizing that it cannot be safe to be putting me into a coma to where the only thing I'm doing is waking up, eating, going back to sleep, waking up, eating, going back to sleep, like in a little coma. That was so dumb.
I took some epitamine pills. I had to stop. I was gaining too much weight that I didn't want to gain in certain areas, like my face. I just wanted a butt. That was it.
Sure, you'll gain weight and you may even end up getting a bigger butt, but you may also end up gaining body fat in unwanted areas because, surprise, you cannot spot reduce body fat. Like I mentioned earlier, depending on your genetics, everybody gains body fat differently. Of course, for a lot of women, having a curvier body or an hourglass shape is seen as more feminine, and it might be the ideal, but the majority of women are not naturally shaped like that. And if you are naturally curvy, even if you do drop body fat, the curves are still going to be there when you get done. Because let's keep it real. Some of us would rather have a big butt, rather be curvy, even if it means remaining at an unhealthy weight. There, I said it. I know stating the obvious is going to come off as rude or body shaming to some people, but the real reason it sounds so mean is because we've allowed body positivity to redefine what it actually means to be curvy. Plus size, full figured, big bone, thick, are all terms that have now become synonymous with this word curvy, even though in actuality these definitions differ slightly from one another. And I understand why we use these terms given in the past, especially in mainstream media. There really was no representation that, shed plus size women in a positive light that made them feel confident, romanticized, or desirable. But, both fat acceptance and fat feminism definitely played a role in the desirability of women who are plus sized. In the words of comedian and actress Monique, I'm not fat, I'm fat. That's PHAT. That's right. I'm pretty, I'm hot, and I'm thick. Now, I won't get too deep into the whole fat acceptance movement as I've already kind of covered it in another video. But back in the day, I actually really liked that movie Fat Girls that Monique started in. It was a really cute comedy and did well in highlighting the real life experiences that a lot of plus size women may experience. And the business behind the movie really highlighted the fact that your size does not have to dictate your confidence or take away from your beauty as a person, even when it comes to finding love. But make no mistake, because even in real life, years later on down the line, Monique had to make that move and drop some weight. One of her main reasons being the motivation from her husband's concern for her health, later on down the line with her remaining at such an unhealthy weight.
The inspiration came from my husband because one night, this is my third marriage, the last one, and really the first one.
Wow.
This is the first time I've understood what it is to be a wife.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So it was my husband, because in this marriage, I wanted to make sure I was doing what I needed to do to be adventurous. Okay? And one night we were trying to be adventurous. Okay? And I wanted to do the run and jump and pick up.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with it.
This is not to save people, okay? So on the run and jump and pick up, that left leg got the wobbling when he picked me up, and it got a little different. And he wanted to know how much did I weigh. And I said, even though I knew it was 300 pounds, I couldn't bring my mouth to say 300 pounds. I couldn't bring myself to that place to say, what have you done to allow yourself to get here to 300 pounds? So I say to my husband, knowing it's 300 pounds, I said, I weigh 266, real cute, kitten-like. And he said, that's too much.
Wow.
and I want you for a lifetime.
Wow, that's great.
She very much started to realize, like a lot of these other fat feminist influencers, the weight that you carry now will hit differently 10, 20, 30 years down the line.
I'm gonna say something controversial and I don't care. I don't care how trendy or cute or fun it seems to be fat. Don't let that shit fuck with your head. I actually feel kind of guilty for being a part of this movement. And I know it's not my fault or my responsibility to keep other people's health. But being a pioneer in this game, like I literally was one of the first influencers to work with Fashion Nova before they even had a plus size line. So when I say I'm a pioneer, I'm a pioneer. Being attractive, being able to still wear nice clothes is not the end all be all. You got to really think about your health. Because when you're in your 20s, you think that life is just rainbows and candy. You don't even think about the future. But when you start creeping up in age, babes, it's gonna catch up to you. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying that every fat person is unhealthy. Hello, I'm fat. I'm not claiming that you gotta hate fat people. That's literally the opposite of what I'm saying. See, a lot of my fellow content creator, fellow plus size, fellow bloggers, whatever you want to call them, plus size models, now talking about wanting to get healthy, now talking about needing to da-da-da-da. Because 5, 6, 7 years ago, when they were 22, when they were 21, 25, it wasn't a problem. Now you're 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, whatever the case is, and you're like, damn, I can't get pregnant. I have this problem. I got that problem. The problems creep up, babe. Love yourself at any size. Wear the clothes you want to wear, but don't forget that your heart has to beat, babes. Don't forget that your blood sugar has to keep a balance, babe. No amount of Instagram pictures looking cute and being an influencer wearing a size whatever you are is going to stop your heart from not beating if you eating bacon every day. Health is real. Organs failing is real. Diabetes, heart disease, all that shit is real, okay? So to the younger girls, the younger generation, take care of your health. It's not fat phobic to take care of your health. It's not a joke. And I'm saying this out of love, not out of self-hate.
The same energy should also be had for the women who are willing to risk it all on the surgery table. I mean, how many more botched surgeries or deaths do we have to see or hear about before we realize that maybe, just maybe, it ain't worth it?
Tragedy strikes again. 26-year-old Janisha Williams went to Florida for a BBL and liposuction and never woke up. BBL, or Brazilian butt lift, is when a surgeon does liposuction, gathers the fat, and transfers it to your bottom. BBL is a high-risk procedure for a fat embolism. If you look at the screen behind me, the green zone is the fat area, which is a safe zone. This is where the surgeon can safely transfer the fat. Red area is the danger zone. It's the muscle area, and it contains arteries and veins. If the cannula enters into an artery or a vein and releases fat into the circulatory system, the fat can travel to your brain, heart, or lungs, and most times that equals death.
Even with strength training becoming more and more popular amongst women, you still have a lot of younger girls rushing out to have body alterations done, not considering that once you get this surgery, specifically BBL, you have to maintain it, meaning you're going to have to take your behind to the gym. 2, you're not also considering the weight that usually most women gain in their mid to late 20s, especially after childbirth.
6 out of 10 BBLs actually require hospitalization after the procedure, and 4 out of 10 actually need a further revision, and 8 out of 10 people who get a BBL want to get around 2, 3, 4, and 5 to achieve their desired results. Now that's the whole reason why, we do what we do over here, but just know that when you get your procedure done, there is a large likelihood that you will have to go in for a revision, or you will not be completely satisfied with your results.
And why y'all turn around getting pregnant less than a year after you get it done? So let me get this straight. You don't turn around and spend anywhere between $12,000 to $15,000 on getting your body done. You haven't even had a chance to completely heal up so you can enjoy said body. And then you turn around and get pregnant. There's got to be some type of medical hazard or risk given the fact that you've had extensive work done around the abdomen area. But hey, pop off. It's your body, it's your choice.
Lo and behold, fast forward to now, and now we see a whole slew of women who ran out to get these mommy makeovers, these BBL body enhancements done, including celebrity women, now having everything from fillers being removed to button breast reduction done because they realize that it just looks crazy. It's too much weight.
I'm not against anybody going out there and doing what they want to do to make them feel confident in themselves, but I do believe that your confidence should come in Christ. Look, there comes a point within ourselves as women where we have to make peace with the way that we naturally look. I mean, we can't allow body trends or the politics of desirability to dictate the acceptance and love that we have for ourselves, especially if our reasoning behind having a certain aesthetic is more so because of what other people think or what we see as more physically desirable to men. And I hate to seem like I keep reiterating this towards black women, but unfortunately the programming and brainwashing be heavy, especially with our image being the most hypersexualized in the media. So it's no surprise to see why culturally a lot of our men have this warped perception of what a woman should look like. My advice would be to find you a man that is very much deprogrammed. Like Monique, find you a man that prioritizes your health, your spirit, the things that matter, because only then will a man be able to truly value you beyond your body. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
These BBLs killing y'all. And the thighs don't match. Well, turn to your neighbor and say, these BBLs killing y'all.